Of all the Pokemon on this team, who would have thought that the teapot would have been the biggest threat? How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're battling versus Lazy Boy in the OU tier. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's the best place to go for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles right now. There is a link in the description down below. I've also noticed that only 36% of people watching this video right now are actually subscribed to the channel. So just double check that you subscribed, because sometimes YouTube unsubscribes people. And if you aren't, why not subscribe? It's free, it helps me out, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, with that being said, let's jump into the team preview. Ooh, Tyler's brought a very electrifying team, a team full of paradoxes, and then Pincurchin just chilling there, along with Iron Leaves, Iron Treads, Iron Moth, Iron Jugglis, and Iron Valiant. Pretty solid looking team. I think that the goal here is we're going to try and get Sinistea to set up and sweep. I think it can do it. We just need to make sure no hazards are set up by the Pincurchin or the Iron Treads. And if they do get set up, we defog them away. I think they lead with Pincurchin, so I'm going to lead with Chesnaught. I think that's probably the best course of action, so let's go ahead and do that. And the battle begins, so Tyler's going to lead off with Pincurchin as expected, as we lead off with Dreadnaught the Chesnaught over here. So not a bad matchup. They're going to get their Electric Surge up and all that wonderful stuff. We actually have Thunder Punch. This is I'm using some pretty unorthodox sets right now. Obviously, we've got the Choice Scarfed Volcarona, which has caught a lot of people off guard on Showdown. Standard Haxorus set, standard, whatever you call it, Tigglybuff set, Corviknight standard set, and then we've got Assault Vest Chesnaught as well, which is worked out pretty well so far. So looking at the team, I can probably safely go for an Earthquake here, but that probably baits out the Iron Jugglis, but I'm going to go for it anyway. We go for the Earthquake, they stay in. They're going to get smacked in the face. There we go. As they're going to go for a Thunder Wave, which is an interesting choice. So we can get rid of the Thunder Wave by Terroring, because I'm Terror Electric. Gives me a bit of a resistance to flying type moves, and also only one weakness being ground. So I'm going to go for another Earthquake right now. They do withdraw the Pincurchin, which is absolutely fine by me. We can handle that. They probably go to the Iron Jugglis, right? Iron Jugglis comes in. We've baited the Iron Jugglis in, which is great. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. It's going to get a Quark Drive boost, which boosts its speed, which is really unfortunate, as there we go. Earthquake comes through, which is not going to do anything to the Iron Jugglis as it sits there floating in midair. I don't know how it flies like it flies, but, you know, it flies regardless. So we're going to get hit by a flying type move right now. So I'm going to go into Corviknight. I would stay in Terra with the Chesnaught, but I kind of want to save Terra for Polteageist. But if we can get rid of the Iron Jugglis and also get them to Terra prematurely, we might be alright. So let's see how this works out for us right here. So they're going to go for a Hurricane. We're going to eat that up, of course, because we're a Corviknight. Kind of want to think that's Specs damage. Going to go for the U-turn anyway, as they go for a Taunt. So they're going to go for a Taunt, which is an interesting choice. I don't think anything on our team outspeeds this thing. Iron Jugglis, that is. So we go for a U-turn, which is, of course, going to be bad. They go for a Taunt, which is an interesting set. So we've got a choice here. We can either go into our Haxorus to try and take a Hurricane, or we can go Tigglybuff. I think Tigglybuff is a good idea because we're a Fairy type for a start. We've got the Dazzling Gleam, all that wonderful stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a Light Screen right now. I think Light Screen's the best course of action. As they go for a Taunt, which is fair enough. That makes sense. Go for Taunt. Why not? Taunt works. I just on the off chance they didn't go for the Taunt, you know. So let's go for that Dazzling Gleam real quick. And if you're wondering why I'm Terra Dark, it's actually for Grimmsnarl and other priority Prankster users. Because if I Terra Dark, they can't taunt me, which means I can set up all my hazards and stuff. It's the only Terror I could think that really works for Screamtail over here. So we go for the Dazzling Gleam anyway, and they're going to switch out into probably the Iron Moth. They go into the Iron Treads, also works. Also a good shout, as that's going to boost their... What's that going to boost for them? Speed again. Speed again. We go for the Dazzling Gleam. Minimal damage, of course. But they probably go for a Volt Switch now, expecting us to switch, right? They probably go for the Volt Switch, expecting us to switch, right? I kind of have to switch anyway. I think I go Chesnaught here. I think Chesnaught's a good shout. So we'll go Chesnaught real quick. There we go. Chesnaught is a good shout. I'm dreading it. I think we're going to DC again. Because we tried to battle before and we DC'd. I had to re-record the intro and everything like that. They go for a knockoff and knockoff our Assault Vest, which is really unfortunate because we're not going to be able to take a hit from the Iron Valiant now. Unless we Terra, which we could do. We could Terra, no problem. As this turn, I think the play is to go for Thunder Punch here. I don't think they want to get hit by a fighting type move, right? No, we can freely go for close combat. We can freely go for close combat. If the Iron Valiant comes in, we get some chip damage on the Iron Valiant. So let's go for that close combat real quick. They're going to withdraw the Iron Treads, of course. What are they going to go into? Hopefully the Iron Jugglist. That'd be nice. Iron Jugglist comes in. We're going to get smacked that thing in the face with a close combat, which is great. So they are nice and shiny, of course. They're going to get a speed boost again. As we're going to smack them in the face with a nice and powerful... We couldn't move because we were fully paralyzed. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Are you actually kidding me right now? So, their Quark Drive does wear off, which is great. They're going to hit us in the face with a Hurricane, which is also great for them. Or do they go for a U-turn here? Nah, let's not risk it. Let's go for the Scream Tail switch. I think we go for the Scream Tail switch. Scream Tail's a good one here because we can set up Stealth Rocks or we can go for a Light Screen or Reflect. I think Stealth Rocks are going to be really important. Looks like they haven't got a Defogger, they've only got a Rapid Spinner. They go for a Hurricane, they missed a Hurricane, which is great because it means no residual damage on my Scream Tail. As now I'm going to go ahead and go for a Light Screen. What do we go for Stealth Rocks? Stealth Rocks would be really useful. It would have been nice if we could get that close combat off on the Iron Jugglist. Let's go for a Light Screen. Let's go for a Light Screen. We do have speed, of course, because Screen Tail is pretty fast. As they go for a taunt, and unfortunately the Light Screen is up now, so that's not going to work for them anymore. Now we fully expect them to switch out into the Iron Treads, and we go for the ballsy play of going into the Volcarona right now. And Volcarona matches up really well against their team other than the Iron Moth, so I'm pretty confident Volcarona is going to play a key part in winning this game. There we go. We're going to withdraw Scream Tail. We're going to go into our Volcarona real quick. There we go. Volcarona comes through. Nice and powerful. They do withdraw the Iron Jugglist. Are they going to go into the Iron Treads, though? That's the real question. They go into the Iron Treads, which is great. So Iron Treads comes in. Now, they're probably thinking, oh, hang on a minute. They've got Booster Energy. Oh, no, they haven't. They've got Leftovers. That's all right. That's Leftovers. Never mind. I thought it was Booster Energy for a second there. So, they're probably thinking, we outspeed here. We can easily go for whatever we want. I'm going to go for a Fire Dance, outspeed them, and get the KO. There we go. Fire Dance comes through. We are modest. It should KO. Should KO. It does KO, which is great. And we get the special attack boost. Volcarona Choice Scarf coming through, catching people off guard. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Good work from Volcarona. We finally get a KO on something. So Pink Urchin comes in. Pink Urchin is definitely going to die here, but it gets the Electric Terrain up, which is, I'm assuming, what my opponent was really looking for there. So we go for the Fiery Dance. They probably switch into Iron Moth here. They don't. They stay in. They stay in. Fair enough. They probably didn't want the residual damage on the Iron Moth. Iron Moth needs to probably... To be fair, Iron Moth's special defense is booty, I think. Am I wrong there? Is it physical defense or special defense that is not very good in? One of the two. I'm hoping it's special defense because that would help Volcarona load. So Volcarona got 2 KOs so far. Definitely thumbnail material. Choice Scarf Volcarona, ladies and gentlemen. In comes the Iron Jugglist. So Iron Jugglist gets the speed boost from the Electric Terrain, which is unfortunately going to mean it can KO my Volcarona no problem right now. I actually think Volcarona could live a Hurricane, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to go ahead and go into my Corviknight. No. I'm going to go into Tigglybuff. I'm going to go into Tigglybuff. So we'll go Tigglybuff real quick. There we go, Tigglybuff comes through. They've no longer got an Iron Treads, which is great. So we go Tigglybuff. They go for a Hurricane. It's going to do minimal damage to us thanks to the Light Screen. There we go. No confusion as well, which is great. So we go for the Dazzling Gleam, expecting the taunt. There's the taunt. Definitely read that like a book. As we can go for a Dazzling Gleam now and get some damage off, some nice and clean damage on this Iron Jugglist. There we go. That's what we like to see. So, expecting them to go into Iron Moth right now. I'm inclined to go into something else. What do we go into, though? What do we go into for the Iron Moth? That's a real question. We could go with Haxorus. Haxorus can take a Sludge Wave, I'm sure. No, because it'll be boost rate. It'll have a special attack boost from the Quark, the Electric Terrain, probably. So I think our best bet is actually to stay in and go for a Dazzling Gleam again, just to get some chip damage off on it. They go for a U-turn, which is fair enough. I didn't know they would have U-turn. So they have Hurricane, Taunt, U-turn, and probably Dark Pulse, right? More than likely Dark Pulse, I would say. In comes Iron Leaves, which is a part fighting type. So that's an interesting switch right there. They're going to get a nice and powerful boost, probably to speed, right? No, it was their attack that got us boosted this time. We go for a Dazzling Gleam. Should do decent damage. It does decent damage. We get a crit as well. Oh, no, they're not part fighting type. They're part psychic type. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm being dumb. So, we definitely go Corviknight here. Corviknight can definitely take any hit this thing wants to throw at it. We might get 2-hit KO by close combat plus 1 attack. No, it's 1.3 times attack, isn't it? 1.3 times attack. So, we might be all right, to be fair. Might be all right. So, let's see what happens. They go for a Swords Dance. That is terrifying. That is terrifying. But I'm pretty confident we can do this now. All we have to do is let Corviknight go down. So, we go for a Brave Bird. Go for a Brave Bird real quick. As they go ahead and Tera. Which is great. We want them to Tera. We need them to Tera. Terroring is good. Pure... Oh, they're going to a Fire type. So Fire type's fine. If they go for Tera Blast here, then we get KO'd, which is also fine. They go for Tera Blast. Okay, so we get KO'd by the Iron Leaves. Which is unfortunate, but what can you do about that? What is good about this is the fact that we... Now, we need a way to KO this Iron Leaves for a start. We need a way to weaken it for a start. I'm feeling like Volcarona is going to be the key player here, so I'm going to go into Volcarona real quick. Now, the reason I'm going into Volcarona is simple, really. Iron Leaves has really good special defense. We need to weaken it even just a little bit right now. We need to weaken it just a little bit right now. So what's our best move? Bug Buzz. Bug Buzz is definitely the best move to go for here. We go for the Bug Buzz. We are Choice Scarf. We outspeed. About half health should do it. So they go for a Psyblade, which is of course going to do major damage. KOs us, in fact. We can't burn them with Flame Body because they're a Fire type. But we're in a decent position. Why are we in a decent position? Polteageist. Polteageist can come through. It's tea time, ladies and gentlemen. It is tea time, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to go for a Shell Smash right now. We are going to go for a Shell Smash because they have to hit us with a physical move, right? They have to hit us with a physical move, which will activate our weak armor, which is going to boost our speed even further. Looking at their team, they have no priority moves on their team. I'm pretty sure they have no priority moves. I'm pretty sure even if Iron Valiant got Shadow Sneak, it wouldn't use it. We go for the Shell Smash here. There we go. Nicely done. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Defenses are going to drop, but we are already at +2 speed. We're now at +4 speed, so we outspeed even the Iron Jugglis under the electric terrain. So we are golden. And the electricity disappears just like that, which is great. Absolutely great. So what we can do now is we go for a Shadow Ball or we go for a Stored Power, one of the two. It doesn't really matter which one. Let's go for the Shadow Ball just in case they switch into the Iron Jugglis. Shadow Ball comes through. Let's get this KO on this Iron Leaves. There we go. Nice and KO. Down goes the Iron Leaves. They had no switching. They had no switching whatsoever to that team. So that's pretty awesome. Polteageist is looking pretty good right now. Looking real good right now. In comes the Iron Jugglis, which is fine by me. Absolutely fine by me. We could probably KO with Shadow Ball, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to Tera Blast fighting right now. Tera's going to come through real quick. We're going to put a nice and powerful crystal boxing glove on top of our Polteageist. There we go. Nice and crystallization. Gotta love it. Tera fighting. So we got the Tera fighting, obviously, for dark types that are quite prevalent in the tier, including Hydreigon, for example. So we go for the Tera Blast. That's going to be able to KO the Iron Jugglis, no problem. I don't think they have any way to come back from this unless the Iron Valiant has priority, which I don't think it will have. Otherwise, they would have gone into it already. And I think we're pretty golden. I think we are pretty golden right now. In comes the Iron Valiant. So Iron Valiant comes in. Is it booster energy speed? Could that be their way of pulling back, maybe? No, they're not. They're not. They have already terrored. We don't have to worry about it. Let's go for a Stored Power. Stored Power comes through. Down goes the Iron Valiant, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. And they caught that in a Dream Ball. That's pretty awesome. Nice going. Nice going. In comes the Iron Moth. Iron Moth is a pretty easy solution here. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. We go for a Stored Power here. And we definitely KO this Iron Moth unless it's Focus Sashed. If it's Focus Sashed, good play. Good play. If it's Focus Sashed, they should have brought it in earlier. Stored Power comes through. And down goes the Iron Moth, and that is going to be the game. We got a sweep with Polteageist. Yes! We did it! That's what the aim was for this team. Polteageist sweep. And we did it. First battle. Brilliant. Thank you for the game, Tyler. Lazy boy. Pretty awesome game. Really enjoyed that. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.